How you doing? How you doing? Come on in here and sit on down. We got a new Papa Meat video here for you today, and ooey, do we have a spicy one today? You see, I was looking around the internet, and I came across a little Screen Rant, or I don't know, some bullshit website that had, the top 10 craziest Goosebumps episodes. I was looking at these lists, and I thought to myself, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch all of them in one sitting. And I'm gonna get drunk while doing so by creating a little drinking game out of it. So I decided to sit down and watch 6 consecutive hours of Goosebumps videos, which let me tell you, I would rather have someone come into my room while I'm sleeping and beat me while I slept. I would rather wake up with broken limbs than have to do this again. But which ones do hold up, and some of them still do. So I introduced you to the Drunk Goosebumps tier list! The Drunk Goosebumps tier list! All right! And we'll get right into this tier list right after this sponsor. Have you been wondering, man, I need to spice up my room, give it a little extra zest, a little extra spice? Well, Displates is here to help you out. With so many unique brands and designs, you'll have an ocean of options to choose from. If you're like me, you'll want to comb through the metal selection and choose your favorite band poster. Or if you're a little baby goo goo gaga, there's plenty of Marvel posters, and there's also anime stuff too. And the Displate posters ship to your door within 4 to 5 days, and my god, are these things durable as hell. And just to show you how durable they are, I throw them down the stairs. I said, you know what? What is this thing, a newborn baby? No! It's a Displate metal poster! And lastly, Displate, I mean, my god, it's so easy to install. You just throw a couple magnets up on the wall, and it sticks right to the wall. Don't be poking holes into your wall anymore. Don't be using tape like a goddamn barbarian. Put magnets on your wall. We're in the future! Click my link in the description and use promo code PAPAMEAT to get 25% off 1 to 2 Displates, or get 34% off when you buy 3 or more. Back to the video. All right, welcome back to the video here. I have collected my thoughts. I am hungover. I am shaking. I'm dehydrated. For the love of God, why didn't I drink water? I don't know. I don't know why I do these things. Who knows? Now, if you don't know what Goosebumps is, why did you click on the video? You know, what are we doing here? You're sitting there, you're clicking on a random fucking video. Use your brain a little bit next time. So I'm not going to go into what Goosebumps is. All you need to know is that it's in every public library and scholastic book fair for the past 30 fucking years. And, there it is. That's my cover of what Goosebumps is. But as a kid, I did love Goosebumps to an irrational extent. I mean, it was fantastic. We had the VHSs. R.L. Stine came in with the same emotionless expression that my father did when he'd come into our home, and he'd greet you with a,
"Hello, I'm R.L. Stine. I write the Goosebumps books."
And growing up now, I know that R.L. Stine's worth like $200 million, and he just couldn't get the mole removal surgery from the giant mole in his forehead. But needless to say, he is inspiration to me, and I'm sure to millions. When going into this tier list, I wanted to be sure that we took a couple things in mind. One, how spooky is it still? Obviously, I'm a grown man. I'm not going to get afraid of a fucking Canadian children's show. 2, does it still hold up? Is your nostalgia goggles, or were they a little blurry? Did you tell people, oh, I love that, but in actual, is it terrible? Who knows? And then 3, how fun was it to watch? Did I have a good time watching it? I don't know. Those are my 3 variables when I went into this, and that's what I went in with, and that's what I'm sticking with. That's the rules I gave myself. The tier list we have here are the 10 movies. You might have heard of these or not. I don't know. I don't care. The first one is The Girl Who Cried Monster, Say Cheese and Die, The Haunted Mask, One Day at Horrorland, Welcome to Dead House, A Night at Terror Tower, Night of the Living Dummy, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and Stay Out of the Basement. Classics. Dare I say classics? No, I will. No. I think I will. I will say they're classics. And we started off with The Girl Who Cried Monster!
Jesus fucking Christ.
I went into this endeavor with alcohol in hand, and I forgot how thick the Canadian accents are. You have a boot, sorry, all that kind of shit the whole time. It was distracting. I was distracted. But insufferable children right off the bat.
Randy, haven't you ever heard of the razor-toothed toe biter?
What do you mean, toe biter?
I mean, immediately. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the kids in these shows are just the worst.
Ah! Oh! Get away!
Jesus.
And then you have these brain dead fucking parents who, I think they say the daughter's name. I should have counted. I mean, it had to have been over 100 times.
Lucy. Lucy.
Lucy.
Lucy, where you
Lucy.
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 At first, a rule for the drinking game was if they ever say mom, dad, or if they say the main lead's name, you had to drink. But by that point, I would have had alcohol poisoning. I mean, it was fucked. It was beyond no end. I was getting destroyed immediately.
I took a picture that proves he's a monster.
Calm down, Lucy.
He followed me
Stop
home
saying
today.
her name!
He followed you home.
Some highlights from this one I remember was, one, they hired a really good pedophile-looking actor. That really was kind of spooky. I felt kind of creeped out watching him. There's a very odd interaction between them, where he brings home her book bag.
This is yours, isn't it?
Could you maybe just leave it on the doorstep? Please?
Wouldn't it be easier if you opened the door and let me hand it to you?
So creepy.
Wouldn't it be easier if I gave it to you and you just opened the door? And then she's like, I don't know, I guess so. No, she doesn't say that. I will say in this one, there was amazing monster effects, and also, my God, the guy could flick his tongue. They got an actor that knew how to whip out that tongue. I mean, I was impressed.
Holy shit!
It was quite the fucking journey. You know what? In terms of did I enjoy it? The kids were just too insufferable, but the monster effects were good. And my God, the ending.
Delicious. What's for dinner?
Well, it was going to be a surprise, but...
Since you asked, you are.
It was gonna be, I would say, a D tier until the ending when it was so fucking horrific and violent. I was like, this was on public television for children. They turn into reptiles at the end and they just fucking straight up slaughter and eat the pedophile man. And it's done in this way that is, it lasts a little too long and it just is a little too graphic for my liking. So I boosted up to, I'd say, a B. That's not bad. Starting off with a B. Could be worse. Not bad.
You like cherry pie?
Sure.
Fuck you!
Next we had Say Cheese and Die.
Cheddar.
You have cancer.
Captured my incredible...
Let me tell you something about Say Cheese and Die. A little Canadian boy with big dreams was starring in it. A little guy named Ryan, the fucking Rocket Man Gosling. This was a performance of a star. I mean, the entire time I was distracted by how good his voice sounded as a child. He just sounded like a barely higher-pitched version of what he sounds like now.
With those long legs, he does look like a spider.
I'm jacked.
I'm jacked to the tits!
Had the great wavy hair. He was giving the performance of a lifetime. I mean, it was so impressive that I said, this is an S tier. The whole episode is like, oh, it's about Ryan Gosling finds a camera that when you take pictures of people, you see how they die or something. I don't know. I was kind of drunk. I'm not gonna lie. After the first episode, I was already kind of drunk, so I'm trying to recollect what I remember here, but... So they have this giant Jetsons spaceship that they're taking pictures, and you see his brother die in a car wreck, and I think his mom has a brain tumor or something like that. I can't quite remember. A big subtraction was the main enemy, who looks like they just got a random 28-year-old kind of doughy, maybe Toronto citizen, and was like, can we put a gray wig on you with some welding goggles and, call it a day, essentially. But to be fair, it was hilarious. It was really funny. I laughed a lot, had a good time watching it. And at the end, they take a picture of the guy. He gets trapped in the camera and he's like, no! Inside this camera. And then not even 10 seconds later, he is reborn like Jesus Christ himself with this amazing floodlight in the back. It was such a good way, but it falls short because it wasn't very spooky. It was really stupid, but it was a really fun watch. So I gotta give it an A. It's up there.
What the fuck? What made you fall? Off this banister. Why did you fall off the banister?
Next but not least is Haunted Mask.
Who are you?
Who are you? It's like, what are you talking? It's probably your sister, you fucking idiot. God.
If you know anything about Goosebumps remotely, you know, like, Haunted Mask has to be probably everybody's favorite, I would say. And watching it today, it was by far, I would say, out of all of them, besides one more, it's like actually a really good story that I would love to see translated into an adult horror film. I found myself, I don't even think I laughed a lot. I think that it was just like, I felt bad for Carly Beth, which was just, it's just such a great, pathetic girl name. If you ever name your daughter Carly Beth, you're gonna have a wet blanket child.
Carly Beth the scaredy cat. Carly Beth the scaredy cat.
Breaks his nose.
Basically, to give it a quick rundown, she's this huge pussy that gets scared of everything. She gets bullied at school, and then she gets black-pilled, goes to a costume shop, picks up a demonic mask. It, like, melts to her fucking skin. She terrorizes people. She becomes red-pilled again, and then she, you know, finds love in herself. It's a fantastic story arc. Honestly, the makeup, the acting by everybody, it was shot beautifully. It deserves the S tier for a reason. It's fantastic. You know, S tier. Mwah. Good job, O.R.L. Stein. Good job.
Nick, why do I imagine you've done this before in your lifetime?
Next up is One Day at Horrorland.
You shouldn't be here. It's not safe. Get out.
And I was watching this with my editor, and he said, that was my favorite one when I was younger. So I went in with bright eyes. I was like, okay, man, we've had some good ones so far. But let me tell you, this was when we hit our first huge road bump. One Day at Horrorland was one of the most excruciating watches, I mean, ever. I almost tapped out. There was a point where I was like, I'm about done.
Oh, God. Boo!
The costumes were fucking terrible. You had some that were like the same sized Ogre Man, and then you had some that were just like so clearly a mask with giant yellow eyes, and it's an amusement park, but you get to see 2 rides.
Fuck that kid.
And they're just filming in a state park, like a Canadian state park. They're like, can we rent this out for the day? Oh, I don't see why not. And they just put up a couple fucking, they went to Spirit Halloween. They spent $50 on the production value of it. It's terrible. One thing with R.L. Stein is that he always has like a twist ending. I was saying that he was a more respectable M. Night Shyamalan. And the twist ending in this is that they're actually on a game show, and I don't know, they're dying. I think this would have been redeemable. This may have been a C if we could have actually seen the family die.
You ready, kids?
Oh my God! Holy shit!
If we could have seen the family drive off the cliff at the end and fucking die in the show, I would have probably put it at a C. Because, you know, it would have had that, but it just wasn't spooky. The theme was fucking stupid. I didn't have fun. It was just dumb. I have to give it a D. I wouldn't even place it if I didn't have to. That's not true. I'd probably give it a D. They tried. People in the set tried. They gotta give them some respect here. So I'm gonna put that at the D. And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah! Next was Welcome to Dead House. I remember as a kid, I really enjoyed this one. It's like a zombie movie, but like they have like vampire rules or they can't go out in the sun. But in the entire episode, they're in the sun basically the entire time. And it's funny because they're like, it's overcast, but they never show the sky because I think they only shot on absolutely beautiful days where there wasn't a goddamn cloud in the sky. So it's like direct sunlight on him and you can see like the shadows from the trees and stuff casting on him beautifully on his disgusting pale skin. He's like, we have to go inside. The sun's coming out. It's like, it's on you. The light's on you. You've been in the sunlight this whole time. But yeah, I remember I liked it a lot. It did not hold up. Basically, a family moves into Flint, Michigan, where the house market, I mean, the guy must have paid fucking no money for that house because he's like, come on, Joshua, you know I need to write my book. And he's like, oh, Dad, I hate this place. And the dad just beats the shit out of him for like 4.5 minutes. And I thought that was very provocative and moving. But people are just like breaking in, trying to look at the girl. They're just punching holes in walls and shit and leaving. It's like an angsty teenagers keep coming to the house and they just use this as their fucking punching bag. But a lot of them just like die at the end and they just like, I don't know, you can see it. They just turn to like basically a fog. Not even steam. I would literally call it fog. They turn on a fog machine and they blow it up at the actors. And they're like, oh, and die. And then the dog turns gray at the end. It's a D. It's a D for me, if I'm being honest. Put that down there tucked nice and tight next to One Day at Horrorland is what I say with that one.
Come back! Come back! Dark Falls needs you! I'm hungry!
The next one up was Night at Terror Tower.
Terror Tower sucks.
I watched 5 minutes of this and I thought to myself, no.
Terror Tower is terrible. Hey, Terror Tower, the only tower that I'm climbing is, it's a bad one.
I don't think so. There's not an F tier on this, so I'm just simply not going to put it on the list. It doesn't deserve it. To give you an understanding, it's like they go back in time and they're being chased by like medieval people, but there's like a magical egg or stone or something. It's fucking dumb. I wasn't gonna watch it. It's a bad one. It's not getting rated. So, there it is.
It's cold.
The next one we did watch was Night of the Living Dummy.
What the fuck? What's that? What?
Once again, A Star is Born. This one is starring the ever emotionless actor Hayden Christensen.
Don't make me kill you.
You gotta love him. I mean, if you look at his performance here as a child, there is, zero growth as an actor.
Cross your arms and maybe lean a bit to that side. Oh, beautiful. You're happening. You're here. Oh, great stuff.
Hey, wait.
So stiff the entire time, and he gets turned into a dummy. And it's like, it's fitting. You're like, that makes sense. No wonder they casted him. This is the third one in the chapter about a dummy named Slappy. So these kids have a dad who's a ventriloquist. He's like 4'7", and he's married to a woman that's like 6'5". It's very distracting. He's wearing bolo ties the whole time. Basically, Hayden Christensen's character is a giant pussy, red pillar, who's like, oh, I'm gonna get revenge for these kids who are making fun of me because I'm a pussy. It's essentially it's a bait and switch. You're like, oh my god, they're playing pranks on him. It's so rude. Leave Hayden Christensen alone. So essentially, we do find out that the dummy is alive. He's evil. Who would have seen that coming? And he's torturing the kids. I will say there's a pretty fucking brutal part where like the dummy is on Hayden Christensen's character, who is named Zane. What a bad name. They throw Slappy out a window, he gets fucking struck by lightning, and for some reason, explodes like a neutron bomb. I guess because his evil magic explodes. I'm not sure, but it's an explosive ending at least. And then you have a weird thing where Hayden Christensen at the end like turns his head around like 360 degrees and talks to him and leaves.
I'll be seeing you real soon, cousins.
It's very odd. But like I said, you have the weird thing where Slappy's like basically mounting and like grinding on Hayden Christensen as a child and breathing weird green smoke into his nose and turning him into a puppet. So, you know what? I think all in all, I'm going to put it into a C. It was not as bad as Welcome to Deadhouse or One Day at Horrorland. I will say that. I will give it that. As a classic, everyone's like, oh, that one's one of my favorites. I didn't see the big appeal. Say Cheese and Die. Way better. Way more fun. The next one was Werewolf at Fever Swamp. This one was, without a doubt, my favorite one as a kid. And I will say, it holds up great. Essentially, it's a very simple werewolf story. Kid moves to Flint, Michigan. I mean, every time, it works. This kid and his family, who are like deer scientists, move to a fucking like abandoned house by a swamp to study deer. That's their dream. They're like, you know how important this is to us. It's like, to watch deer? What do deer do that's that important? Anyways, Brady, or Grady, or whatever his name is, makes friends with the local inbred child who tells him that swamp, you know, makes people go crazy and that there's like a werewolf hermit that lives in the woods, and it's pretty creepy. I will say, it's like a weird, obviously mentally unwell man. I don't know if he has Down syndrome or not, but he is at least clinically insane, living in the woods in a shack, and it's like 1997. So it's like, what are you doing out there? Just get a job, get a house. I don't know. It's weird. He like has a musket or something too, I think. It's like he's living 300 years in the past in this swamp. I don't know. It was confusing. But the nice bait and switch in this one is that actually the inbred kid was the werewolf the whole time. Pretty scary. Pretty good werewolf makeup effects. Great sound effects for the monster. Like the sound he makes is actually kind of fucking creepy.
Run, boy! Look out!
And it's like really threatening. I don't know. It was kind of, it elicited a little spookiness out of me. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And I had some good fun watching it. Oh, and then also a dog named Bandit. Or Randall. What was it? Vandal. He names his dog Vandal. And I don't know, his Vandal like barely touches the werewolf's chest at the end, and the inbred werewolf man fucking stumbles and falls into the swamp and drowns. Like literally the child dies. So, I mean, that's pretty brutal. That's a pretty fun way to end it. And then the kid like autistically like barks at the moon at the end. I don't know why he did that. It's a fun way, and yeah, I don't know. So all in all, you know what? I'm gonna give it an A. I had a really good time watching it. It was fantastic. I'd recommend it.
Guard him!
Welcome to Camp Nightmare was the next one. I'll be completely honest. I was fighting to stay awake. I was very drunk, and I could not. Just off the bat immediately, I thought to myself, I can't. I skipped to the last 3 minutes of the episode or 2 minutes of the episode, and all I can tell you is that it was like, camp was like a recruitment for a 12-year-old to like destroy Earth or something like that, and that they're aliens. That's the twist, is that they were never on Earth, and they're gonna go to Earth. It just sounded so fucking stupid, so I'm just gonna put it in the same category as Terror Tower. I was offended by it.
Fucking F.
And then, of course, last but not least, is Stay Out of the Basement.
Stay out of the basement!
And I tell you something, S tier right off the bat. I don't want to dive into it because I really feel like I want to make a whole video about this one. It moved me. I don't know if it changed my life. Maybe it did. It didn't. But still, it was very good. And I actually want to take time to actually do a full synopsis on Stay Out of the Basement and like recreate some of the scenes and stuff because I had such a fucking fun time watching it that I have to. But this is my list. Look at that.
Wow. That was a marathon.
Oh yeah. So that's what it is. If you want to take this tier list and make one of your own, feel free. I'd be curious what you thought. Which one is your favorite from the list? Which one did you not agree with anything I said? I don't care. I mean, if you did, I don't really give a shit. I do have a new store, meatcanyon.store. We got new hoodies, we got some shirts. It's fantastic. It's great clothing. Please go there and see if you want to buy something. It's good stuff. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. This isn't like a 2 week like oh, get it before it's gone. They're gonna be up there. It's a new store, so feel free. If you're like, oh, I wish I had money, don't even worry about it. You know what, don't even buy it. I don't care. I don't know. If you don't want a shirt or a hoodie, feel free to go over to my Patreon. We do like behind the scenes stuff, polls, or we also do like also you get a monthly sticker. So if you just want to support the channel, feel free. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a spooky rest of your week. I hope R.L. Stine comes and tickles you while you sleep.